Good morning, my loving best friends. As you know, it's me again, the Dark Lord Zalata. When it comes to Minecraft, to what's up or what's good, it seems like right now, we're smack dab in the middle of a transport overhaul. It's even more game-changing than you probably realize. Legitimately, the more that I think about this thing, and I've been thinking about it all day long, within the context of Minecraft and everything around it, I realize that it gets even bigger. Today, I'd like to laser focus in on what one might think would be the smallest part of the update. Because, oh my god, let me show you, it's not. Establishing the mood a little bit, Minecraft Snapshot 25W16A. This one takes us back a tiny bit. Inside of the puzzle that is this current update, this one was the piece that was all about the leash. Now, we've talked about this one before, albeit a little bit chaotically, but like Claro, we know you. To establish context, or if you live under a boulder, a quick summary. Minecraft's new leash update, lead update, well, it's absolutely insane. These changes, though slightly more Java-specific, will apply to both versions of the game. Armed with nothing more than a leash and a little bit of other things, inside of my brand new fresh survival world, my first victim, the beautiful brand new cow. Now, putting a lead on mobs and actually using these things with them before was easy, like really straightforward. Essentially, all you do is walk up and use the lead on them. That's still exactly the same. Only big change now is the lead. Oh, they'll put a little weight on. Now, with these brand new changes here, walking around, things feel relatively similar. You can notice a small difference when you walk around side to side with the mob. But long story short, on a player interaction basis, things have been, well, actually not relatively unchanged. That's a complete lie. But what I'm trying to say is where the real spice actually kicks up here is when we have not one, but two different mobs. Mob number A, mob number B right there. Two leads strung together forever, eternally and beautifully. Mob number A, mob number B, mob number C, the basement child of the trio, if you will. We could go ahead and attach a lead to you, attach a lead to you, attach a lead to you. No, that's my lead. So this is where it's all a little bit of a muscle memory learning curve type thing, but sneak and interact with a mob, and if it already has a leash on it, well, it doesn't really matter. You can go ahead and attach more leads to a mob. In fact, there's no defined set limiting factor or anything like that. I think theoretically, you could have 1,003 leashes attached to a single mob, like there's literally not a single limit at all. Now, to make this even more spicy, these leash changes apply to every single leashable entity in the entire game. That could be something big and hunky like an iron golem. That could be something boring and boaty like a boat. We could lead entities to boats now. No player involved at all. Well, no player involved aside from the initial convection point. But of course, you know a lead. It's also not just entities, it's fence posts as well. This fence post connecting mechanic from all the tests I've been running is way more strong than before. Like, in fact, I don't know if it's just me, maybe I have really bad luck or something like that, but all of the time, I would leash things to fence posts in my world, come back, and somehow, magically, they've disconnected. Now, I'm not sure if this issue that I seem to have always been facing was maybe having to do with, like, leaving the world and then jumping back into the world, but yes, no, every single time I've tested this, no matter what, even an untamed dog that has a complete mind of its own, doesn't really matter. A brief update and then some. Check done. A loss, but there's more. Upon our initial interaction with the leash update, inside of the changelog here, I mean, we got a whole chunk of text. There's a lot. I tried my best to talk about it initially, but since then, all of this extra time that I've had, I've tested it and learned more. With the context of the happy gas, everything else, moving mobs around your world in this update is going to get insanely easier. Well, unless Jack Black Elytra. I'ma keep it 100 with you. I don't know how this worked before. I never really thought to try it. But alas, with our far more bodacious leads, a couple of rockets, and of course, most importantly, Jack Black Elytra. If one takes to the sky with a lead, well, unfortunately, even if I fail to take to the sky immediately, like as soon as I use a rocket here with this thing, I know it's not like the easiest thing to look at, but we have a little bit of a rule. Rockets and leads cannot be used at the same time by the same player. That all goes to say, no matter what, whatever you have leashed, even if it's something like a boat, it doesn't matter. Though you can still definitely soar with the mob on a leash, and actually, the soaring mechanic seems to be a little bit better than before. Gliding, whatever. As soon as the explosives come out, the leash basically explodes too. Upon initial contact with this update, when getting really far away from a mob, maybe it gets caught on a block or something, not so much that time. You know how they can be. They can get caught on blocks in silly instances when they probably shouldn't. Well, the lead, I mean, this still will definitely disappoint you. But that disappointment will not hit the same because thankfully, gratefully, you'll have to be a whole lot farther away from the leashed mob for the lead to break them before. Scientifically speaking here, let's say I had a mob stuck inside of an area, and then I had a leash on that mob. Well, instead of being able to move a maximum of 10 or so blocks away from this mob before the leash would tear in half like I could before, I can now move up to 12 blocks away and kind of beautifully. This is kind of tricky to pull off here, but as we get farther away from the mob, it kind of wants to pull up and get out of the hole. Well, I could actually use this lead. It's kind of tricky to do, but if I can get my jump in the mob just right, look at that. Check this out, this is so cool. Maybe you're exploring with the mob and gets stuck somewhere and you need it to keep coming with you. Well, if you get the lens, the angles, the jumps just right, you could pretty easily use a leash to get a mob out of a stuck spot. Maybe even more useful, curious if this would work for, say, an entity like a boat as well? Well, yes. Leads can pull boats uphill. This survival function of this one, oh, it's beautiful. Let's say I was moving a villager inside of a boat. Maybe I got close to a hill right here and I had to go up and over this thing. Well, all I would need to do is grab a lead. I'll admit it can be tricky, but if you back up and kind of like patiently wait far enough away from something, due to the lead's natural like wanting to try and get closer to the player, the boat will literally just float up a block so I could move a villager straight up a hill, like one by one with a boat and a lead. And oh my god, I hope Mojang doesn't patch this. This thing is absolutely insane. Now, speaking of boats and leashes, initially when we checked this thing out, I was taking a look at it and saying, hey, wait a second, that looks really, really weird. Did the physics update or something? You can really notice it when you go side to side and, you know, kind of change the angle the boat is coming at you from. And yes, sure enough, definitely, the physics have changed here. Now, even more interestingly, these physics, it's way less noticeable, but they have changed with mobs as well. So when I connect, well, anything to a lead and move around, well, the lead or whatever is attached to that lead connecting the lead to myself is going to try and orient itself forwards, like basically facing towards me. You can see here, when I turn, the cow is rotating and turning as well, and its face is kind of trying to snap to me, looking me deep in the eyes. Dramatic, romantic, but I'm married. I don't know if you knew it, but this is actually the redstone update of all time too. So, to back us up a little bit here, the leash. If I don't want to have the leash connected, like maybe it's on my hand, I could just interact with the leash and it'll disconnect. Alternatively, I have another option. Maybe I'm big fancy, I got that iron farm from the Waddles tutorial, I wanted to show it off. Well, I could use a pair of shears and you can cut the lead too. On its own, when it's like a mano-a-mano situation with the lead, using a pair of shears is maybe not the most efficient, but if I had other mobs connected to each other and I wanted to disconnect them, well, that's really where the shears become the star of the show. Inside of this little update, the devs have baked in a redstone functionality too. Dispenser, one of the most powerful redstone blocks of all time. Shears, apparently one of the most useful tools of all time. Now check this out. So let's say I had some kind of entity on a lead. If I could move that entity on a lead right in front of the dispenser, like practically touching it here, I use the dispenser with shears. And the dispenser with shears can actually snip the lead too. Oh my god. And you look here, it doesn't have to be inside of a boat as well. As long as I can get this entity placed directly in front of the dispenser. Bruh. All right, well, it's a little bit more goofy. Wait, never mind. I always forget that I have to hit the lever twice to reset it. With an entity on a leash, dispensers can easily cut that leash. What does that actually mean for greater survival? Well, I don't know, but either way, smash like, subscribe, and to join the most exclusive club in the world, Members Club. Check out the link down below. Stealing. Oh, this changes everything. So one of the only entities that this leash mechanic does not work on is the villager. You can put the villager on a rope for good reason, probably. But often caught on a rope, the trader llamas. So usually these things, and because of the same not being able to put a villager on a rope mechanic, I can't recreate this situation. But you know him, and now that he's gotten this great selling, buying update of all time, we kind of love him, the wandering trader. It will spawn into your world with llamas on a leash. I swear I've been waiting in this world way over 20 minutes. Maybe I'm too loud. The wandering trader is nervous. So what hasn't naturally spawned here, but you know the guy, you get the idea. Walk up to the trader llama with a pair of shears, and you can take the llama right off of the leash. No need anymore to like seriously injure or maim the wandering trader. Yay. Leash knots, you know, this little thing that happens when you put a leaded thing on a fence post. The leash knot has changed too. For starters here, leash knots, it is not a one-on-one situation. The multiple leads can be piled up into the same leash knot. And when that happens, aesthetically speaking here, nothing actually changes at all. Now, there are many ways to break this leash knot. If I wanted to, I could walk up and use a pair of shears and instantly break every single thing that was leash knotted to a leash knot. My other option here is I could punch the leash knot, and listen, I think that's a brand new sound. It's like a little bit squishy or whatever, but instantaneously, you can punch a leash knot to break it. But there is another way you can do it too. The leash knot is leash knotted on a fence. If I break this fence, and this is where it gets crazy, because sometimes it seems hit and miss, but, what? Dramatic delay much, huh? With the leash knot, when leash knotting entities to a leash knot, well, sometimes when you break whatever that leash knot is tied to, which seems to be only fences still right now, kind of tragic. But if I were doing things the old-fashioned Minecraft way, didn't want to break the leash knot, it kind of just floats and exists for a quick second before it breaks. Because this leash knot thing is so temporary, if you were curious, when I walk into it, nothing really happens or anything like that. It's just kind of there for a second, and then it's not. On behalf of the Happy Ghast, a mob that very quickly and easily gets way more than 12 to 10 blocks away, the devs have thought of it all, because when it comes to the Happy Ghast, the lead gets a little bit more of a break. The Happy Ghast will have a free roaming distance of 10 blocks and a snapping distance of 16. So basically this means put a Happy Ghast on a leash inside of your world and it'll be able to roam a little bit more freely than other mobs would be able to, and definitely be able to get a little bit farther away from you as well. This means that putting a Happy Ghast on a leash and then connecting it to a fence post is a great idea. This thing has quite a bit of wiggle room when it comes to being able to move around. Maybe from my experience, just make sure it can't get stuck behind a wall or something like that. You're in a rush. Maybe it's the end of the world or something, and you need to lead a mob way back home much quicker. Well, put it on a lead, and it will drag alongside you pretty efficiently, pull out whatever it likes, it desires, and, well, it won't necessarily be able to follow you any quicker, but I kind of feel like maybe this is making the process a little bit more foolproof and locked in, maybe? Maybe there's a difference, maybe not even, now that the leash actually pulls things a whole lot better. I don't know. It's an idea. Another great old use that I wanted to throw in here real quick for you is minecarts. You could actually put a boat inside of a minecart. I've since learned that this has been a thing for a hot minute, and now you could put a lead on a boat that is inside of a minecart so you could link them all together. We talked a whole lot more about that in this one right here, so for even more on it and some deep dive tests, check that in like 5 minutes. One of my favorite new uses and ideas for this thing involves, well, you, my beautiful hazel-eyed beauty. Alright, we're gonna rock with this one in survival just to show it off a little bit here, but this is beautiful. So villager gets in the boat initially. If I get in the boat here, I mean, I could definitely move the boat around. It's a little bit annoying though. So instead, what I can do is jump out of the boat, put the boat on a lead. We've been able to do that for a little bit of time now, but now this boat on the lead follows me so much more efficiently. It's beautiful. Now let's say maybe I was over at this village and I needed like a ton of villagers back over at home sweet home. I could use this boat on a lead, easily glide right over paths, and while wrangling up your villagers, remember that you could easily jump up and pull them right out of a path now. It's easy. Then I could get it near the other villagers here, put even more inside of the boat, and check this out. You could use a boat on a lead and pull it around to actually be able to pick up and wrangle the villagers way easier. But now I've wrangled you up and you're over here. You're kind of on your own. I feel bad, so I'll put another boat on a lead, and there we go. Now I've got you as well. I could use another lead on this boat and pull multiple boats at the same time. And doing this is probably how you're going to want to rock with things until you get them to a central location. Security guard, while I'm at it, why don't I bring you over? Can you go in a boat? But that's fine. For now, you just go ahead and wait with that boat. Now you see what I'm doing right here. Not only is it way easier to wrangle the villagers up because of this whole boat leashing mechanic, but if you've been paying attention this entire time here, then you know what I'm about to do next. One more time though, I want to show this off. The boat is clearly stuck down low. All I need to do is get a little bit farther away from it and jump up, and this boat will be able to snap out of the path. It's so easy to do. But now I've got villagers in a boat on a leash. Maybe I'll go ahead and attach you to Iron Golem. I'll add another leash to this boat right here. It's kind of the middle of the operation. I'll connect you to there. Well, actually, wait a second. I've been over at the local village and I found myself a little bit of clay. Only thing, I'm highly allergic to clay and I'd like to keep it in the chest boat. Because of my allergy situation, chest boat raft can go all the way at the end. And to now, what I can do is put a leash on my first villager right here and go ahead and start walking. And check this out. Every single boat will follow behind the other boats. Now, this is going to work in such a large train situation, if you will. Probably a little bit better in an area that is more flat and open. But as you can see right here, baby, I'm relocating an entire village and a little bit of items as well. Literally with just like, what is this, 6 or 7 leashes and some boats. And it's just crazy because of how strong these leashes are. This is so reliable and easy to do. I can move these things all day long. And like we're kind of talking all about in the Happy Ghast series right now, check this out. I can go ahead and put the lead on the Happy Ghast, put the hardest on the gas, get on you, and now it doesn't even matter. If the terrain is really bumpy and crazy, get on your Happy Ghast. It's so hard to show off because I have so many things, but put the entire local Minecraft village on your Happy Ghast, sail up, get a little bit of lift off of the ground, and you can so easily move an entire Minecraft village literally. I mean, yeah, this transportation update with the leashes, this might be the best part. Minecraft transportation update. It goes absolutely insane. If you've cooked up within the depths of your mind another use for this leash update, tell me all about it down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Next up, check out the playlist on the end card. This update is going to change Minecraft forever, and it's only fair to you. You should know all about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.